Hello, hello, hello. Oh, welcome. Come on in. I see somebody here. Welcome. Come on in. Let us know who you are and where you're joining from. How are you guys? Let me see. Here we go. I'll put it in the chat for you. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer. There we go. All right. Cool. All right, come on in. I see you guys coming on in. Welcome. It has been a while since we have done a YouTube live here on the channel. So I am excited to be here. And this episode, let me just tell you, it is sponsored by Antoine Maurice. So I have on one of his t-shirts from one of his lines where it says living life with no speed limit. So you can go as fast as you can, as fast as you want, even with government contracting. You can go at your own pace. All right, so welcome. Come on in. I see we have Stephanie here. Welcome, Stephanie. Valerie, welcome. Where are you joining us from? Let us know. Come on in. Tori, Tori and Brian, welcome. So come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from. Today, we're going to talk about getting you prepared for the bid table. So that's our topic for today. So come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from. So happy to have you guys here. I'm just trying to get my notes over here together so I can see them. All right. So come on in and get this. This is kind of big. Let me resize it. There we go. All right. Who else we have here? Latricia, welcome. And then we have Larissa from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. Valerie's in Atlanta as well. Okay, cool. Okay, Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie is a prior client. Yeah. Hey, we've been playing phone tag. I know you wanted to give me an update on your success, and we've been playing phone tag. We're going to make that happen. Dennis, welcome from Maryland. Okay, Tori is from Houston, Texas. All right. Good. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on in. So today we're going to be talking about preparing for the bid table. Like that's where everybody wants to be, right? That's the ultimate goal, to get to the bid table and then secure the contract. So, of course, you've heard about government contracting, the trillions of dollars that the government is spending every year with small businesses, and you want in on it. So that's cool. So let's get into the bid table, getting you prepared for that. If you have any questions, you can definitely put those in the chat at the end. You know how we do. I will open it up for a Q&A as time permits. So let's dive into preparing for the bid table. So again, that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the bid table. But we do know there's some things that we need to do prior to getting to the bid table. All right. So if you're looking to make the transition from the private sector into the government sector, then some of these things I'm getting ready to share right here in the beginning, you should already have in place. All right, so you should already have, your business set up, an entity structure set up. You have your tax ID number, your business bank account, your mailing address, whatever you're going to use, that physical address, your email address, a business email address, hopefully, your phone number that you're going to use. You should also have your NAICS codes. And know what those are, as well as your DUNS number. So here's the thing. The first thing I like to say is you need to be committed to the process. Getting into government contracting is not a quick fix. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I need to generate some revenue like yesterday, and you're just starting out with government contracting, it's not that quick fix. All right. I always like to say government contracting is a lot of work, time consuming, but well worth the investment. Okay. I'm gonna turn up my volume too, make sure you guys can hear me. All right. So that's the first thing, is just be committed to the process. The second thing is you need to be qualified to do work with the government. So what does that mean? There's some things that the government will require of you prior to them being able to award you a contract. Hence what I just shared in the first step about, having the business set up, having those basic foundational things in order. But then also you need to have your next code. So a lot of times, when you set up your business, they may ask you what's your next code, and you can just put one in. Well, as a government contractor, I always tell you guys, you need to find all your next codes that apply to what you do. So you want to make sure you have all of your next codes that apply to the service or product you plan to offer. And then from there, you can get into getting your business qualified to do work with the government. And that is your SAM registration. You want to make sure it's active. I spoke with someone, I believe it was yesterday, and they were saying they had an opportunity that they were going to bid, but come to find out their SAM registration was no longer active. So you do know your SAM registration has to be active in order for the federal government to award you a contract. And it's something that you have to update on an annual basis. So if you need to put a note in your calendar, whatever that takes for you to make sure you keep that SAM registration active. Now, they send out email notifications as well saying, hey, in 60 days, your registration is going to expire. You need to update it, renew it, right? And so they send out the emails, but if you ignore them, then yeah, it could become deactivated. And then now you can't be awarded a contract. All right. Then also, when you do your SAM registration, it becomes active. You do know they'll give you your cage code, which you'll need that. And then now they've made the switch where they also have your unique identifier number. So you'll have those two things once your SAM registration is active. And so those are important numbers that you need to keep up with as well. All right. So I want you guys to comment below and let me know if you were to be awarded a government contract today, would you be ready? Let me know in the chat, yes or no, no or yes. Would you be ready? Is your business set up? Are you positioned and ready to win a government contract? Where are you at in that process? Are you ready? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. Who else do we have here? We have Rosemary here. I believe Rosemary. Okay, Rosemary's a client. Hey, how are you? Cecil from Connecticut. Welcome, welcome. Sign here, notary. Okay, you said you'll be ready. I don't know who that is. I guess that's your maybe business name, but welcome, welcome. All right, cool. So you guys will be ready. Awesome. Dennis said no. And the first thing is just knowing where you're at in the process. So there's no right or wrong answer, whether you know or not, right? We just want to know. And really, I want you to know if you're ready to bid and win a contract. Are you ready to go to the bid table like right now? Okay. Hey, Donald. Arcadian Transport. Okay. Hey. I don't know who that is, but welcome, welcome. All right, cool. So the next thing is you want to have your certifications. Now, there's information out here where you'll see where sometimes people say you don't need a certification, and you don't. Okay, you could do total small business or full and open type of contracts for sure, but why not get your certifications? That is an advantage that you'll have to where they set aside contracting opportunities for woman-owned small businesses, service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, hub zone, and things like that. So why wouldn't you get the certification to where they are setting aside contracting opportunities, contracting dollars for these particular classifications? And then that also limits the competition. So why not? And most of them are very low cost to no cost to get anyway. So I say get all the certifications for what you qualify. I don't want you to be in a position where here's an opportunity, it's set aside for, let's say, Rosemary as a woman-owned small business, and she knows she's a woman, right? And she owns the business 51% or more, but she don't have the certification. Well, then she can't be at the contract because she doesn't have the certification. So what did I just say? Somebody tell me in the chat, what did I just say about these certifications? I need to make sure you guys are hearing me on this. Let me know in the chat. Marcella Coleman, welcome, welcome. What did I say about certifications? Let me know in the chat. I need to know that you guys are tracking, that you're hearing me. And then also, if you have your certifications, put a 1 in the chat. Do you already have your certifications? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Larissa says yes. Sign here. I think that was Francis. Yep. Francis says yes. Francis is a client. How are you? Okay, great. So that's the next thing. Cecil, yes. Valerie, hey. Valerie said, as I said, there are dollars set aside for certain types of businesses, less competition. Exactly. So not necessarily certain type of businesses, but we're talking about woman owned. So based on the classifications. But yeah, you got it. Awesome. All right. So you want to make sure you have your certifications. The next thing is you need to know who's your client. If you're providing a service, who's your client? You're providing a product, who's your customer? Do you know? Very, very important that you do. You know, which agencies will you work with, right? Who will you build relationships with? It's not all agencies, because here's the thing, even though if you provide a service or a product and say all agencies use it, it still doesn't mean that they're the one putting out the contract. You want to find who's putting out the contract for the type of work, service, product that you provide. That's your customer, that's your client that you want to focus on. Not necessarily the end user, but the one that's putting out the contract. Okay. And then you need to know, how will you approach them? How will you approach them? What are their foreseeable needs, right? So right now is May. And so we know for the government, they're in fiscal year 2023, fiscal year 2023, where theirs is going to end in September, right? September 30th. But you still have time to look at their forecast once you know who's your client, your agency, right? To see what opportunities they have coming down the pipeline the rest of this year. So foreseeable needs, what do they have, right? And then you can look at what size contracts are they putting out, because you need to make sure that your capacity matches up with the size projects that they're putting out, especially if you want to be the prime on the project. Your capacity need to match that. You need to be able to handle the size contract that they're putting out if you plan to be the prime. Okay. Of course, you can do teaming relationships and some other things to make that happen, but just initially, for what we're talking about here, you just want to make sure you have capacity. Okay. Whatever that looks like. And then how are they setting aside the contracts? So even though they may be your ideal client, they're putting out the type of work like, who told me what they do? Donald does AC and HVAC. So he does HVAC, right? And so even though maybe all of the buildings have those, HVAC systems, right? But you have, say, 5 agencies that are putting out the contracts, right, Donald? And then even though they're putting out the contracts, well, maybe some are large contracts, you can't handle them. Maybe some are being set aside for woman-owned small businesses, and maybe you're not a woman-owned small business. So that wouldn't be ideal for you, right? You need to find the ones that are a good fit for you, where the size matches up with your capacity, and then if they're setting it aside a certain way, that it's in alignment with what you have as far as your certifications. Okay. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? If you have a question, you can definitely put that in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Who else is here? Joseph, I think, did you sign up for, are you in my boot camp or Prepare for Millions? I saw your name recently. I just can't remember right now, but welcome. He's a client as well. Good to have you here. And if you're liking this content, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up while you're here. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And then if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing those in the chat. If you have a question on what we covered here today so far, or the topic itself, or if you have a question about government contracting, go ahead, put it in the chat, because we're getting ready to open it up for Q&A. All right. So the last thing I want to share with you guys is your next best move on your way to becoming a government contractor and getting to that bid table. So here's the thing. If you're just getting started, You want to start with the steps I share here, the 5 steps I just mentioned. Make sure you have those things in order and you're clear on, your direction. Okay. If you already have the steps, you've already started with the steps and you've done that, the 5 steps, right? And let me recap for you. What did we cover? So we talked about the foundational things you need to have in place in general. We talked about being committed to the process. Okay, that means you're going to do the work, and it's not a quick fix. What do you need to have in place to qualify to be awarded a government contract? We talked about the certifications that you want to have. We talked about knowing who your ideal client is. And then, so if you have all those things in order and you know what they are, then you're ready to start finding opportunities to bid, right? If you're working within one of the 5 steps, then that's where you're at. You need to get clear on that. If you're clear on those 5 things, then you're ready to start looking for opportunities to bid. If you have the first 2 steps done, meaning all 5 are done, you know who your ideal client is, you started looking for opportunities, then you're ready to start, excuse me, bidding on government contracts. You're ready to come to the bid table. All right. So you're ready. So let me ask you this. Are you ready to start bidding contracts? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no, no or yes. Are you ready to start bidding? Shaquilla Brooks. Welcome from Houston, Texas. Did I say that right? I hope so. Shamika from Georgia. Hey, I wonder if that's my prior client. I'm not sure because I don't know the last name there, but welcome, welcome. All right, so we have Francis is ready to start bidding. Of course you are. You've been doing the work. All right, awesome. So here's what I would like to, and go ahead, if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing your questions in. You're here for a reason today. Maybe you're stuck in the process somewhere. So if you have a question that I can answer for you right here doing this live that will get you unstuck and get you on the path to being positioned and ready to start bidding contracts, get you to the bid table so you can start securing government contracts, put your question in the chat. All right. And so here's what I want to share with you guys while we're waiting on those to come in. If you'd like to take this further, your goal is to get to the bid table. I want to invite you to join me for a Prepared for Millions. All right. It is a virtual 2-day event that I'll be hosting next week where you will learn how to prepare your business for $1 million a year as a government contractor. So everything you need to have in place. We just touched the surface here today. Remember, we're going to spend 2 days together, not 2 full days, but like 3-4 hours each day getting your business prepared. You'll know exactly what you need to do step by step to get to the bid table. All right. And what you need to implement. So registration is open. Again, this is our 2-day virtual event. Is coming this Tuesday and Wednesday, May 23rd and 24th, and we start at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do have to be registered in order to attend, and the investment is $97. So I'll put the link down below for you guys as well. And let me just put what it is so you'll know. All right, so there it is. And then I'm going to put the link here as well for you. And it's prepareformillions.com. All right. So if you're ready to prepare your business for $1 million a year as a government contractor, make sure you join us. All right. Oh, we have KC from the DFW area. Where are you in the DFW area? I'm in the DFW area. Okay, you're in the beginning phases of getting your certifications. Awesome. Great, great. All right, C. Brooks says they are Hub certified. Okay, so are you a woman-owned business? You don't have your WOSB or your WBE certification? C. Brooks. Okay, yours are pending. Okay, cool. Awesome. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. All right, you're on the way. You're ready. If you know who your client is, let's get you to the bid table. Hey, Laura. Laura just hopped on. What are the best contracts? Okay, what are the best contracts to go after when first starting? So definitely, Laura, I'm going to say circle back, watch this video, but I don't know what you offer, right? What are you going to offer? Because you need to know who's your client or customer, whether you're offering a product or a service. And then depending on your capacity, we could kind of determine which contracts are best for you to go after. And then it also depends on what's out right now, you know. Yeah, so there's some variables there to answer that question, but definitely something we could definitely talk about in more detail um, during Prepared for Millions, because we'll actually, I didn't tell you guys, but during Prepared for Millions, I'm going to be doing some business makeovers. So you'll get to come and get your business made over on the spot as well. So you can apply for that. No extra charge, but you can apply for that as well. Okay. Okay. So Case, you're in Irving. Cool. Okay. Tanya, hey Tanya, how are you? You just hopped on, I guess, or just signed up. But yes, it will be recorded. So if you're unable to join both days, if you have to pop out, yes, a recording will be made available. So yes, you'll have access to the recording for sure. All right. All right. So Joseph says, what do I need in order to submit the contract if a stock, I don't know if, do you mean stock contractor has given me their quote and I needed to add my differential to the court contract? How do I do that? Okay, let me back up. So what are you, let me, if you're not saying what I'm getting ready to say, because that's kind of confusing. So are you saying, what do I need in order to submit the contract if a subcontractor has given me their quote? And then you're going to put what your markup on it? Is that what you're saying? And then, so it's like, are you having to submit just a quote, a number? Do you have to just submit a bid, or is it a full blown proposal? Because that would entail what you'd have to submit. And I believe, Joseph, you're in the boot camp, correct? If you are in phase 3, we talk about that, like the bid and the proposal. And there's templates in there for you as well. Okay. So again, if it's just a quote, you know, and they just want a number, then you would just give them the number. And that's after you account for all your costs, fixed and variable, and you put your markup on it. All right. All right. Any other questions? So definitely, again, go ahead and like this video. I appreciate that. If you want to share it out, go ahead and share it out. I appreciate that as well. Again, I put the link for Prepared for Millions, or you can go straight to it, preparedformillions.com, and sign up to join us for the 2-day virtual event where we're going to be talking about getting you prepared for millions and prepared for the bid table. All right. So if there's no other questions, we're going to go ahead and end. Let's see. Nothing else has popped up. Okay. Tanya says, will you discuss how to set your business up in SAM? So not doing Prepared for Millions. We won't get into that in full detail. But inside of my boot camp, we do cover in phase 1 foundational things. So we do cover the SAM registration, some things to look out for, because people do get tripped up on doing their SAM registration. So I kind of address those things for you so that when you go in to do your SAM registration, it shouldn't take you long to go ahead and put in all your information and submit it. So we do cover it inside of the boot camp. Okay. Nair says, how do you join your boot camp? So here's the link here. Let me give you the link for the boot camp. You can just go sign up. And the boot camp, during the boot camp, that starts June the 6th, and I'm taking you guys to the bid table. So if you need any of your foundational things set up and you were looking at the boot camp, I say join now so that you can get those foundational things done over the next couple of weeks, so that when we get started in June, I can take you to the bid table. And what do I mean by that is we're going to get you to the bid table, meaning you're going to find an opportunity to bid. And then I'm going to walk with you through that process of putting together your bid proposal and submission. Okay, so that's the goal of the boot camp, to get you to the bid table. Okay, so I put the link for that as well. All right, let's see. And the boot camp is, you can go to the contractorsedgebootcamp.com and learn all about the boot camp. Seabrook says how to partner with other businesses to assist with capacity. So, great question. And it's asked often, which is why I have that in phase 4 of the boot camp where we talk about partner. So, but in a nutshell, you're going to look at your deficiencies, right? And then you'll determine how you want to go about it. So you could partner as far as partnering with another company. You guys go out the projects together. You could do some type of teaming relationship. You could do a joint venture, but I don't suggest that starting out. It's a little bit more to it than, and we got to get the warm and fuzzy and all that great stuff. But you could do joint ventures as well. You can also partner with other companies inside of a mentor protege program. So there's options. Again, it just depends on which one you want to go with, which one the other party want to go with, and you guys comfort level with that, and then what the ultimate goal is. But those are the options. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up? Great question. Great question. So yeah. So again, we start Tuesday. Yeah, this Tuesday, Prepare for Millions. It'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you want to sign up, make sure you go to prepareformillions.com. I put the link in the chat. Registration will close probably either Monday or Tuesday morning early because you got to get the information to join us. And then since someone asked about the boot camp, registration for that will close, I think it's the end of the month. I can't remember what date it is, but it's on the page. And right now, there is a savings to join us inside the boot camp. And so that's definitely going away on whatever date that is on the page. I think it's, what's today? 7/20. So it's probably, I think it's next week, sometime next week. So definitely check that out if you want to join us in the boot camp. And that is the contractorsedgebootcamp.com. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming hanging out with me. I know we haven't done this in a very long time, but you can definitely look forward to this coming back at you on a monthly basis. We will be doing these YouTube lives because I miss connecting with you guys, talking with you, even answering your questions. So, one thing you'll learn about me whenever I go live, I'm present with you guys sharing content. I try to open it up for some type of Q&A at the end to answer some questions for you guys, because I want you to leave and not be still stuck. Okay. But you have to be open to the process as well and ask the question. Okay. All right. So I want you guys to have an awesome rest of your day. If you're joining us inside of Prepared for Millions, I look forward to seeing you there this coming Tuesday and Wednesday. And with that, don't forget to apply for the business makeover so that you can get on the spot coaching and your business made over on the spot so that we can get you fast tracking to the bid table. Okay. If you're joining us inside the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, can't wait to see you there. We start June 6th for 6 weeks of live sessions going through the bid table. All right. So have an awesome rest of your day. Again, thank you for taking time out to come join us. And I'll see you right back here real soon. Bye for now. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. And remember, you're just one contract away. Bye for now.